How to trade New York continuation using CRT. A lot of you guys wait for the 5 a.m. model, which we guys wait around 9 a.m. and you guys pattern trade it. You guys lose. It doesn't work like that. How do you guys actually are meant to trade? The 5 a.m. model is different. The way you trade 5 a.m. model depends on the profile for the day. Are you looking for a New York continuation, New York reversal, etc., right? How to trade a New York continuation using CRT. You're in a perfect video. Real quick before we move any forward, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and join this coalition down below, right? And I see you guys, a lot of you guys wait till 5 a.m. for 5 a.m. candle close for a New York continuation, and you guys wonder, whoa, Taki, the CRT inner circle trader. Market is never retracing to the 5 a.m. high, 5 a.m. low for me to, market never swooping it or SMTing it, because it doesn't work like that, right? How do you trade a New York continuation? I'm not talking about New York Russell, because New York Russell would require the 5 a.m. or the, I'm saying 1 a.m. high or low to get souped, right? But we primarily talking about the New York continuation here, right? You guys wonder, you talk about it, right? You guys are like, yo, 5 a.m. high never gets soups. Never the 5 a.m. high never gets souped, and I missed a trade up, right? And the market never, gives me no setup, because the 5 a.m. high or low never gets souped or SMT'd on, right? Trading it wrong. Perfect video. So let's get straight into it. Get straight into the, I'm saying, technical analysis, paralysis had a, all right? So let's get straight into it. How to trade it is simple. You do two things. For a New York continuation, you're highly likely to use an hourly CRT instead of the 4-hour time frame, right? Simple, right? But keep in mind, you could sometimes as well, there's going to be cases where it's going to be a 4-hour CRT as well. So you're going to have to change your plan a little bit, but it's going to be easier, right? Because you have to wait for a 15-minute, not for a 5-minute, because less risk, right? More easier to trade, right? So, but most of the time, you're trading the hourly CRT. So all you're going to do is do two things. Mark and context and narrative, right? That's all you need, right? Mark, when I say context narrative, you must have the draw on liquidity, all the right shit, right? Eventually, all you're gonna do is, second step is gonna be simple. All you're gonna have to do is wait till 6 a.m. You're gonna wake up to 6 a.m. 6 a.m. you'll be in the chart, right? Oh shit, I'm doing it wrong. 6 a.m. you'll be in the chart. Right, you analyze your technical analysis paralysis, right? Eventually at 7 a.m. and what I'm talking about here is the I'm talking about the negative UTC4, okay? So I'm talking about the New York time zone, right? So at 7 a.m. negative UTC4, you mark the 6 a.m. candle, 6 a.m. high and low, right? If you're bearish, you mark it out and you wait for the high to get first and go lower. If you're bullish, you're looking for the low to get first and go up higher. If the 7 a.m. does not do that and just continue and go up, if the 7 a.m., let's say you're bearish and press out the low first, you're going to wait till 8 a.m., right? Then now you're going to do the same thing in 8 a.m., right? So now you're waiting till 8 a.m., right? You're marking the 7 a.m. high or whatever the, hourly time frame CRT high there is, whatever the biggest CRT in the hourly candle is, right? You're going to mark it out, because usually most of the time it's going to be an hourly candle, right? You're marking the 7 a.m. high and low. And if the 8 a.m. presents the 7 a.m. high, if you're bearish here, all you're doing is waiting for model 1, looking for a key level to get tapped, right? Model 1, tap it, go lower, right? Or, what I'm saying, if you may mark out the 7 a.m. and the 8 a.m. candle just goes lower, you wait till 9 a.m., right? You can see now this you're staying off risk. You're not being on risk at all, right? You're staying off risk. And all you're doing till 9 a.m. is you're marking the 8 a.m. high or low. So 8 a.m. candle, you're marking out the high, right? High, low. And the 9 a.m., right? All you're doing is waiting for the 8 a.m. candle to get purged. Right? High if you're bearish, you get vice versa, everything, by the way. You're looking for the 8 a.m. high to get purged and don't looking to go down lower, right? Keep in mind, if the 8 a.m., right, when the 9 a.m. clock's around and you don't have no entry for the past 3 hours, all you're doing is, if the 8 a.m. purchases out the 9 a.m., if the 9 a.m. candle 9 a.m. time, purchase out the 8 a.m. low first. If you're bearish, right? If you purchase out the low first, without then what's the go? Purchase out the low without hitting purchase out the high. Because if you're bearish, you want to push out the high first, right? So you can sell high, buy low, right? Push out the low first, that's eventually if you push out the low first, you're done for the day. Why? Because this 8 a.m. low, if it gets purchased, it could cause a push to the upside, right? So if you take a short here, you're gonna high likely face a loss, right? So this helps you know when not to trade and know when to trade, because knowing when not to trade is way more important than when to trade, right? And this is how you trade the near continuation. This is how you trade the 5 a.m. model as in CRT, right? Using CRT, using near continuation, right? I trade near continuation using CRT, and this is the simplest way. I'm gonna only give you guys 2 examples actually, right? One in CPI day and one in this day, right? So the counties in nature today was bearish. You're waiting till 7 a.m. So 6 a.m. you 6 a.m. right over here. I'm clocking in. I'm waiting analyze the market. 7 a.m. I mark. All I do is I get a vertical line, mark the 6 a.m. candle, and mark the 7 a.m. candle, and mark the last thing I mark is a 10:30 a.m. candle. And the last other thing you always mark is a 17 o'clock and a 17 o'clock open candle, 17 o'clock close candle for the day, because that's the daily, closing on the opening price, right? So time, right? So all I'm doing, marking the 6 a.m. candle, marking the 7 a.m. candle, and marking the 10:30 a.m. candle, right? So now 6 a.m. I'm clocked in, 7 a.m. I'm waiting for a setup here to happen for the high to get purged. In this case, the 7 a.m. purchase the 6 a.m. low first. Okay, so there's no setup. Now we wait till 8 a.m. Or then eventually 8 a.m. we're looking for a push to the downside one more time. We're looking for the same thing here. Looking for the 7.5 to get purged, right? Or if it goes lower, wait until 9 a.m. In this case, the 8 a.m. candle right over here, went up higher, had an SMT divergence with a correlated pair, which is GU, and eventually went down low, right? It missed the drawn liquidity, and eventually met our higher time frame drawn liquidity, a 4-hour time frame, right? So that's that simple as that. So all you're doing at 8 a.m. So since 6 a.m. low got pushed first, wait until 8 a.m. 8 a.m. comes first. It had SMT with a high, with a 7 a.m. high, and went up lower. It went down lower, right? So all you're doing is look to the lower time frame. This is the hourly CRT. You know, scale down to the 5-minute and do a security trade. So hourly CRT, use the time for alignment, right? And everything. Make sure you guys watch my ETU free Master 150 bootcamp. If you guys want to get a whole bootcamp on CRT, how to trade CRT, and stuff, the ecosystem of CRT as well, right? Like specific concept for the CRT shit, right? So SMT divergence, right? And all you're doing is number 1. And those who are wondering, well, did you trade a straight T? Did you trade it straight the CRT inner circle trader? No, I did not, because this broke my rule. But I'm showing you an example here, right? Number 1, this could be a body or whatever, right? All you're looking for the number 1 here. Already have a key level, which is the hourly order block. Stop loss above the number 1. First take profit, the CRT low. Or you could go first. You could go for the first take profit, last take profit right over here, because this is your bigger range, right? In a 4-hour time frame, right? You're trading below a daily candle, so it's gonna be bigger range. Your first take and last take profit right over here, because you guys know this breaks your rule, right? So you're breaking my rule. It says you guys are gonna know the setup. My setups are supposed to give me a beautiful setup, right? The setups are supposed to be the best per session move, right? You guys won't get it, but if you guys want to, once you stay tuned, you will get it, right? But yeah, conservative here, boom, entry there, entry here, last take profit here. Why? Simply because of, what I'm saying, you're trying to catch the perfect move, which is Wednesday usually, right? And multiple other things, right? So right over here, moves to the downside. If you want, could it be here or it could be here, right? So yeah, could have made a 9.9 RR right over here, right? So yeah, that right there, example number 1, this is how you trade near to situation. Now I'll give you guys an example here. You guys know I love you guys. I'll give you guys multiple examples here, right? So in this day, it's obviously a bullish day. All I'm looking for is 2 things here, right? So keep in mind, I'm not gonna show you guys the market context, right? But you must have the right thing. You must trade this logically, right? So I'm looking for a near continuation. I'm marking the 6 a.m. candle. I'm marking the 7 a.m. candle. And I'm marking the 10:30 a.m. candle, which is right over here. So now all I'm doing here is 6 a.m. I'm clocked in. It's like, basically working, right? Clocked in. All I'm doing is marking the 6 a.m. high and low. 6 a.m. I clocked in. analyze, paralyze, right? Whatever. 7 a.m. is when I'm looking for a trade, right? So why do I say 7 a.m.? Because for near continuation, 7 a.m. is the actual time, and this is backed by proof. If you go check my, you know what I'm saying, my videos and shit, it's backed by proof, right? You go watch my live stream, it's backed by proof, right? Before I show you guys why it's fucking important to trade only 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. using a near continuation, right? Or 7 or 12 p.m., right? So 6 a.m. we are analyzing, 7 a.m. we're looking to take a trade. So we're marking the 6 a.m. high and low. As you guys know, if we're looking to take a long here, right? You want the low to get pushed first. So if the high gets pushed, okay, we're not taking a trade. See, now we're back to sidelines. Now we're waiting till 8 a.m. 8 a.m. kicks around over here. Now then we have a key level. Now we're waiting until 6 a.m. low to get pushed or have the SMT. So we get SMT with DXY. Okay. SMT divergence with DXY. Key level got tapped because SMT divergence, right? So all you're looking to do is go to the lower time frame, 5 minutes to execute a trade. 5 minute is when you're looking to trade, execute a trade right over here. Okay, you're looking for a 5 minute model 1, tap. In this trade, I missed it, but you know what I'm saying? This is a perfect example right over here. Boom, missed it. I mean, this is the entry there. Stop loss right below the model 1, because how do you confirm an Ali SMT CRT? 5 minute model 1, right? So model 1 got confirmed. You're going for like, I think I was going for a 4.6 RR here. TP got smashed. You're done for the day, right? But all you're doing is this simple step. 6 a.m. you clock in, 7 you looking for a trade. And every time you push out the opposite side of the CRT, if you're bullish, you don't want the CRT to get pushed first because you're buying high. You don't want to do that, right? If it goes push out the high and push out the low at the same time, you can't do that. You have to wait to next hourly candle. And it's primarily for the hourly CRT, right? And most of the time it can be hourly CRT for a near continuation. Okay? If you're watching, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, see you guys later. Peace out. Check on Discord, links down below. As you can see, very valuable video. I mean, make sure you guys drop that like. If you don't drop that like, then I make these videos anymore, right? Be harsh on you guys, because y'all do not, you know, y'all do not appreciate this. So I might try about course. I might course this, you know what I'm saying? I'll make a bag out of this shit, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you guys later, my nigga.